about the type of meditating where you're just going to sit on a hilltop and gaze at the sun off whatever into nothingness. We're going to do practical things that actually change your life and change the way that you think. To develop a better memory, to develop power of spirit, to develop clear logical thinking, to develop a better self, to develop any kind of maintenance of the different parts of your mind and spirit, you must learn to concentrate. Concentrate and focusing is the very basic building block of starting to make yourself a better person. You have no hope of any kind of mind maintenance or growth without the ability to concentrate and focus on things, because without it, it is impossible to meditate. Meditation is a natural outgrowth of concentration. So let me give you 2 or 3 ideas and techniques you can do. If you're not one to use a lotus position or whatever, you can also use a candle. This is a simple one that probably most people have tried at one time or another in their life. All that's necessary to do is set yourself down in a nice comfortable chair and get a little candle, one that's going to burn at least for 5 or 10 minutes anyway, and put it about 1 yard away from you. A yard is 3 feet, so to many of us that's just a little bit beyond an arm's length. Once you do that, find yourself sitting in the chair very comfortably and focus on the rim of the candle for about 5 minutes. I'm talking about the top edge of the candle just below the flame, right in there. Some people like to look right into the flame. Personally, I kind of look right at the bottom of it. And do that. Set a little clock next to you somewhere so you know how long you're doing this. And do it for 5 minutes, thinking constantly of the word sun, S-U-N. Okay? So stare at the candle, concentrate on the word sun, block out any other thoughts that come in. If you have to visualize the sun itself, whatever you need to do, focus right on there, keeping your vision right at it. And it does start working. Your concentration builds up. Here's the process. For the first day, the first time you do it, just do it for 5 minutes. And then add 1 minute a day until you can get up to 12 minutes. So the second day would be 6 minutes, 7 minutes, etc. You'd build up to doing this for 12 minutes. Okay? Keeping out all extraneous thoughts and other things and concentrating just on that candle and thinking of the word sun. Okay? Continue then for 6 days at this particular level right here when you can do this for 12 minutes. Once you can do that, increase the span up to 15 minutes and think of a rose. Visualize a rose in your mind as you're staring right into the flame and the rim on that candle for 6 days. Okay? Once you've gotten to this point, I want to change the exercise just slightly now. You're going to continue this exercise for 15 minutes a day, but you're going to allow yourself to concentrate on a positive thought about your memory. And you can just pick it, because you're going to pick the phrase you're going to say, like, my memory is fully functional, my memory is perfect, I can remember anything. Whatever the phrase or thought or idea that you want to form, and use the same one every day. By concentrating on the same thought over and over, you put power into it. You put strength and conviction into it. Your subconscious picks it up. Your spirit then attaches to it. Because as you concentrate on things, your material, subconscious mind sends them to your spiritual self. And as your spirit picks up on it, you're growing spiritually. This is spiritual growth. And your power of your spirit increases. And that's what we're after. So do that. Practice that one. You could also do the same thing with like a glass sphere, like a crystal ball. Some people have crystal balls around their house. You can do the same thing with that. The difference is, of course, the crystal ball doesn't have a light inside of it. So you'll need to cast or shine a light somehow into the crystal ball so that there's a bright spot right in the middle of the crystal ball. And then do the same thing with that. Focus on the middle of it using the same thing, 5 minutes the first day, build up to 12 minutes, and go through the same cycle. Some people have a lot of crystals around the house. If you have a crystal perhaps on a chain or something like that, or a pendulum or a precious stone, you could do the same thing. All we're really looking for here is a focus point to concentrate on, something that's pleasing, something that works well for you. You need to produce that light spot on there, so it makes it so you can concentrate right on it. Here's another technique you might want to try that's a little different. You can also do this with a piece of paper with a couple of lines on it. Take a plain letter-sized piece of paper and with a nice black marker or heavy pencil of some type, draw a straight line about 10 inches long. And then right next to that, draw another parallel line, just the same 10 inches long, about an inch apart, so you got 2 lines. Then take the piece of paper and a thumbtack or some scotch tape or something, stick it on the wall, and put it about eye level, because you're going to sit in a chair now about 12 feet away from it. Stick it on the wall, get your chair back up 12 feet, sit down at the chair and have the paper about eye level. Sit comfortably in the chair, concentrate on the lines on the paper, but this time don't concentrate on the word sun, concentrate on the word one, as in 1, 2, 3, because you got 2 lines here, right? And if you concentrate on one and think it, your subconscious picks up on it, and at some point when you concentrate, as you're staring at these 2 lines right in the middle, they become one line. Okay? Now you're going to experience something kind of nice as you're doing any of these exercises. What will happen is that as you continue to stare at these and focus on these little lights and so forth and concentrate, depending on the behavior of the individual and how much you do this and how much mental intensity you really put into it, at some point a very small point of light will change into like a sun, or what Billy calls a sohar. It's like a glowing ball of light that just presents itself as you're focusing and concentrating. And as you do that, this will grow. It gets larger and larger to the point that it fills your entire vision. And as you keep focusing on the same spot, what happens is you slip right off into this beautiful meditation. That's a beautiful meditation immersion technique. It glows right into this large glow, and it dominates like your whole field of vision. You'll see it happen. It's a very natural thing. Nice part is also when you attain this particular glow, when you get into this blissful state and this feeling, this is called meditation. That's what you're doing. As you do that, it stays with you. Even after you stop, the feeling, the blissful feeling and so forth, and the imagery that stay with you sometimes for hours or even days. So it's a very good way to bring yourself into a blissful mood. If you're just a person of stress, doubt, problems, or whatever, use this technique normally. Just grab a candle, whatever, and sit down and stare at it. Let that glowing ball come about, and it feels great. Another interesting thing that will probably start happening, and I'm going to get more into it later on, is after this glowing ball comes in and you get into this blissful meditative state where all of your vision looks like a glowing sun, after you stop these exercises, every now and then after that, little kind of incoherent images and so forth may just pop up and you'll see them in your mind's eye. Don't be alarmed about that. This is the very beginning of your spiritual subconscious starting to talk to you, and we're going to talk more about it later on, but don't be alarmed by that. It's a natural way. You're not used to being in connection with your spiritual self, so as these little light images and so forth come along which don't seem to make any sense, relax. They will make sense. Your subconscious will begin to feed your material mind information and symbolism about these images, and you'll be able to put the whole effect together. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on. So practice your concentration. Your memory will increase dramatically. Not only that, you're just going to feel an awful lot better. And this is the sort of thing that we need to practice anytime, because all forms of spiritual growth and clarity of thinking require concentration and the ability to do it at any given time. Okay? All right, I think we're getting close to the end of this tape, and the next thing I'm going to talk about before we go on is reflexology. Reflexology is, it involves the sole of the foot, and it's part of the lessons that we're going to talk about here. So the idea is that the concentration of your whole body goes into a nerve reflex zone in the feet, especially in the sole of the feet. So while we're talking about concentration, I'll discuss reflexology just a little bit, and I guess I'll have to meet you on the other side of the tape. So fast forward, I'll see you over there, okay?